What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Kareem Supreme. It's been a long time, but I'm back. Yeah, I want to talk about the Raising Hell concert in Long Beach, California, August 19th, 1986. Oh man, it was devastating. And word got all the way back to New York about, the chaos that went on. And how the media just took the album Raising Hell. They took the title and named it after what actually happened. I mean, they made it seem like the group, they made it seem like the groups caused all this stuff when it wasn't, because there was no such thing as a gangster rap at that time. And they were trying to blame rap as a whole for causing this, when none of the rappers on tour rapped about beating and stabbing people. This was Run-DMC, Whodini, Beastie Boys was there, LL Cool J was there, and Timex Social Club was there. None of these groups rapped about or sung about violence. But you know how the media is, and the media is responsible for creating the term gangster rap in the late 80s, early 90s. But this was prior to any gangster rap. Schoolie D was out, but he was underground. He was the first gangster rapper. But there was no such thing as Ice-T was out too, but it wasn't a term yet because it wasn't dominated. Gangster rap wasn't dominating hip hop yet. That didn't happen until the late 80s, like 89, 90. But anyway, in Long Beach, California, on August 19th, the Raising Hell tour came there. Now, I want to back up a couple days prior to this event. August 15th, in Fresno, California, same thing went down. But this time, Run-DMC's one of Run-DMC's bodyguards had beat someone to death. I guess he was trying to charge at the group or something, or trying to get backstage or something. He violated, and he got beat down to death, and that was unfortunate. And Run-DMC's bodyguard eventually went on to serve time in prison for that. I think he got like 4 years or something. That was August 15th, 1986. And 4 days later, they performed in Long Beach, and it was a gang war between Mexicans and the blacks. And, it was beef in the streets, and it came to the Raising Hell concert. And sadly, a lot of innocent bystanders, got injured. People was getting stabbed. I mean, men, women, and children. It was devastating. It was scary. Ronnie Ray said before he died, R.I.P. to Ronnie Ray. He died last year or earlier this year, late last year sometime. But Ronnie Ray said it in an interview. He said, he just went out and stood on stage, and he said it was chaos. He said it was scary. He said it was frightening. And Run-DMC hadn't even took the stage yet. It was Whodini. Whodini was on stage performing as the crowd was getting wild. As the beef was erupting, Whodini was singing. They were singing Friends, and all of a sudden, people just started getting stabbed. It was like 30 dudes beating up one guy, and then it was like 50 guys beating up 10 guys. And it was one gang beating up another gang. And Run-DMC, like I said, they hadn't even took the stage yet. But when Whodini sung I'm a Hoe, all hell really broke loose. Because, that was the number one hip hop song in the hood at the time. And I guess that song just motivated them to just want to cause more bodily harm on one another. I don't know. Now, that song I'm a Hoe had nothing to do with stabbing or fighting. It just was basically a gigolo song, no cursing, just a fun, song about, relationships or whatever you want to call it. But it just ended up being chaotic. And because Run-DMC were the headliners, they got blamed for it, even though they didn't even take the stage. But because of what happened in Fresno, the media said, hey, these guys are onto something. These guys are causing chaos and mass hysteria, so to speak. And so that got hip hop banned from Southern California for a long time. It wasn't until Hammer blew up, maybe 5 or 6 years later, that another rap concert came to Southern California. It was crazy. But yeah, that was the Raising Hell tour. And the sad thing about it, a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers, they were getting beat up, getting hit in the head with chairs and stuff, man. And it leaked out into the parking lot. Police came. It wasn't enough police to contain the situation. So the police ended up getting their ass kicked. A friend of mine told me he saw, he was sitting like in the middle row. And he said that he saw a Mexican to get thrown off the top balcony and the Mexican landed on a bunch of chairs on his back. I was like, damn. And a lot of people was getting stabbed and women were getting robbed. They were getting their purses snatched, their chains and earrings snatched. It was crazy. And it got, like I said, it got hip hop banned for a long time. Hip hop got a bad rap music, got a bad rap for that. And the lyrical content from any of the groups had nothing to do with it. But the media implied that it did. They insisted when the fans knew it didn't. But can you believe that's been 35 years? Man, 35 freaking years. Wow. Yeah, I was a little kid and I heard this all the way back in New York. Because it was on USA Today and or some talk show. And I remember Jam Master Jay saying, it wasn't Run-DMC who caused people to rob and stuff. He said when there's violence at a football game, which there always is, in the stands, fans fighting, beating people up, people getting jumped, drunk fans acting a fool, knocking people upside the head with beer cans and stuff. When a fight does happen at a football game, like Jam Master Jay said, they don't stop football. They punish those individuals involved. He said, but when the same thing happened at a rap concert, y'all want to shut down the rap event. He said it don't make no sense, which it doesn't in that case because they didn't promote violence. Football doesn't promote violence. Just violent people just so happen to be there acting a fool. But hey, that's the kind of world we live in. And like I said, this just gave hip hop tours a bad rap. Whenever after this tour, whenever a hip hop tour came to your city, they had to have extra security. They damn near had the National Guard at the Public Enemy concert I went to in 1988. Because Public Enemy was a revolutionary rap group, but it was some fights up in there, but it wasn't nothing like what happened in Long Beach. And there's a lot of people that's still around to talk about this stuff. People who were teenagers back in 1986, they're probably in their late 40s, early 50s now. They still talk about what happened in Fresno and in Long Beach. If you or anybody else that remember this, drop a comment in the comment section. I want to hear y'all side of the story. It's Kareem Supreme. Peace.